inside Africa in association with Zenith Bank.
Nigeria is a country that has experienced some dazzling highs as well as some heartbreaking lows. But in this land of extraordinary opposites, there is one unifying factor: the sound of laughter. If laughter is the best medicine, then these are the people who've come up with the remedy for their country.
Nigerians are comedians, all of us. When you have a bad situation, Nigerians make light of it. And that's why they call us the happiest people on earth.
They are the heroes who bring a smile to their faces and tears of joy to their eyes.
To describe Nigerian humor, I like to start with Nigerians who are people that would like to find happiness in every situation. We're a crowd that tend to find the joy in every situation.
Show some love.
These are Nigeria's comedians.
Yes, CNN, this is Inside Africa.
In Lagos, Nigeria's most populous city, no day is wasted. The comedy scene here is bursting with a long list of stand-up acts, attracting large crowds of people determined to relax and have a good time.
What's up, everybody? What's up? My name is Buchi. Welcome to Comedy Night with Buchi.
Onyebuchi Oje, better known as Buchi, is one of the most established comedians on the Nigerian comedy scene.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Those jokes are shot in pidgin.
With his stand-up work supplemented by a successful TV career.
Yes. Stretcher. What are we playing? Is it football? This is football. This is how you flex your muscles.
Originally from Delta State, he has tried his hand at writing, composing, and acting. He believes that this is a golden era for comedians.
What a time to be alive. It's really, really good because this is what we always use, especially for when I started traveling and I used to go abroad like South Africa. When they say it's a comedy show, it's a comedy show. It was alien to me. Like, because coming from Nigeria, it was all music and then a little bit of comedy. But now, I mean, it's so exciting because that's always what we wanted in terms of measuring your crowd response and your fan base. That's what you want, that's what you need as a comedian, to be able to know that, yes, these people came out to see me, to see just stand up. I mean, it's really exciting.
The thriving comedy circuit here has been helped by a number of entrepreneurs and club owners, all of whom have a love of laughter.
The Nigerian comedy scene is very, very vibrant, beautiful. Now, we have so many people coming out with their unique abilities, unique materials, unique content. It developed over time, but then it's now gotten to a stage where it's more of a money spinner, and a lot of people now flock to event centers to watch shows.
Welcome to Friday night to the first comedian coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you all to show some real Friday night love for the one and only Open Teeth!
Unlike before, where the comedy didn't actually have that serious respect that we have now. Most recently, the ones that have actually taken the center stage is because of the every week or the weekly stints with the comedy clubs.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to the Lekki Comedy Club.
Shows that we do in different kinds of event centers come once in a while, different comedians come in. So in a year, you could have like 30 comedians doing shows in different events or different of their own shows, actually. Every week, when you have different comedy clubs open all over Lagos, all over Nigeria, that actually makes it take another step forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, life is sweet when you are making money.
Hello.
Ozemoje Isaac is a familiar figure on the streets of Lagos and has a long connection to comedy. A radio personality, he has been involved in the scene since the mid-1990s.
Comedy clubs really do have a future right now. Taking Lagos as an example, in the different areas of Lagos, they have at least one major comedy clubs, and what I feel about that is that comedy clubs have made people to say, okay, I can't wait for the next big show where so and so comedian is coming on stage, but this particular comedy club is going to make me laugh because I know that most of these comedians who are not doing that big shows on stage will be there in the comedy club to make me laugh.
Club owners have also been quick to embrace this love of comedy that seems to have gripped Lagos. Rashid Jayola is the co-founder of Booker Hut Limited. He opened a comedy club in Lekki area in 2012 before opening another one in Ikoyi 2 years ago.
When we started off, it took time for it to grow, but we're very delighted that in the space of like 6 months, we always had a sold-out crowd.
I don't know why ladies, when you order, there's this thing about your hair. Why do you tap your hair like this? Is there anything wrong? I don't know. Ladies, why do you do this? Madam, any reason for doing this? It's itching. It's a lie. The moment a lady taps her head, there's problem. They can order for a plot of land. If you should go out with a lady, what do you want? If she's about to tap her head, just hold the hand. So you can give her just water. Water will be fine.
Ubi Franklin used to work as an assistant to a comedian, and through him he met a lot of people in the entertainment industry. He runs a successful music company, but decided to diversify into comedy because he thinks it could become a big business.
I see it becoming bigger than what it is right now, because just 2 years ago, that's when the whole digital guys came up. We never knew that people can actually do videos on YouTube, catches a lot of vibe.
Throw it away. What are we throwing away now? Throw away your bad luck.
They have guys that are on YouTube doing short 1-minute videos that are now being endorsed by brands. They are now brand influencers. So it is growing.
While social media has undoubtedly helped comedians to grow their fame, Jayola believes that the sometimes chaotic nature of life in Lagos has benefited the comedy scene.
I think what makes the nights popular is people actually, after a hard day's work, Lagos State can be a very stressful place to live with all the traffic and, all the other stress that comes with it. So people are actually looking for a way to unwind in the evenings, and that was why we decided to do the comedy club in the first place. And we realized afterwards that it was a very good idea that we did it, because people will come from their offices. Some people will go home first, relax, shower, and come back and hang out till very late in the night. So it has been very successful.
While making people laugh in Lagos's bars and clubs is a fun way to make a living, finding an international audience is the key to real success. But can African humor cut it outside the continent?
On the next Living Golf, the Ryder Cup heads to Paris.
France has invested a lot of money to develop the game in the country.
Join us on our journey as we play one of France's best links courses, scale great heights for the Winter Golf Cup, and visit the venue for the match between Europe and the United States.
I think it's perfect golf course for match play.
Living Golf, Thursday on CNN, in partnership with Rolex.
Llanero que canta y silba, desde chiquito ese llanero soy yo. Son dotes de la sabana que la llanura me dio. Son dotes de la sabana que la llanura me dio. Desde que era un becerrero en el tranquero que bastante me escuchó, cantándole a los becerros las coplas que me enseñó. De la vaca valle vengan, la de 11 de oro, la que mi mamá ordeñó, para sacar la postrera con que a toditos nos crió. Los llamaban y salían uno a uno y no de a dos. Y por donde iba cruzando, iba silbando, cantando en baja voz, esas melodías criollitas de la época que pasó.
Lagos has a large and raucous comedy scene. It is becoming an increasingly important part of Nigeria's entertainment sector. Comedians like Bucci believe comedy is here to stay.
Right now, we're getting the accolades that we've been praying for, because as you can see, if you follow Nigerian comedy, just a few years down the line, stand-up was not a thing. It was what you used to, where there was a break in transmission. You say, hey, where's that comedian? Come and say, or where people were eating, or where the power was down. But right now, it's a thing. It's an industry. Like we said, we are discussing it as an industry. It's not there yet, like as big as the music is, but we are almost there, because basically you can't do any show these days without having a comedian come on board.
Enjoy yourself in the Lord.
While comedians like Bucci are promoting comedy within Nigeria, many here feel that for it to truly thrive, it needs to begin attracting international attention. For everyone connected to comedy, the dream is to emulate Nigeria's film industry, known as Nollywood.
I think Nigerian comedy is actually very close to reaching the heights of what Nollywood has done, because we have our popular comedians like Basket Mouth, like Bovi. They actually do shows outside Nigeria. And even when they do shows in Nigeria, they also bring in other comedians from other parts of the world to come, you know, to also perform. And I think with the kind of crowd they also command when they do these shows, the comedy industry is, you know, right up there with Nollywood.
So that's just in case comedy doesn't pay off, I'm going to get into music. And I think I can do well, though.
I think Nigerian comedy can go even bigger. I was watching a clip the other day, yesterday, and where Trevor Noah was using a Nigerian wedding. You know, he was cracking a joke saying that if Meghan's wedding was an African wedding, it wouldn't have ended till now.
It was a beautiful, beautiful wedding. If it was a real black wedding, it wouldn't have ended. That's a real black wedding. It would never end. If it was a real black wedding, Prince's Nigerian uncle, he would have found like Harry's Nigerian uncle, he would have been in the carriage with them. I'm not paying for this carriage, I'm not riding in it, huh?
So that's to show you that he has been watching a lot of Nigerian comedy videos, because we use that to crack jokes here. I believe that comedy is even going to cross and become bigger than the music. I see Basket Mouth has sold Hammersmith. You know, Basket Mouth has sold Hammersmith, so that's comedy. Doing shows abroad, you know, doing comedy movies abroad, you know, also mixing them with Nollywood movies. You know, Nollywood has gone really international. The same thing with music. Yeah, they call it Afrobeat, because it's about us. It's about what we are about. It's about what we represent. If we are moving our comedy out, it needs to be the same way it is here. So it helps us differentiate from the likes of the big guys, the Kelvin Hart, the Trevor Noah and co.
Ozemoja Isaac believes that language and dialect play an important role in humor and whether people find you funny. He thinks by making minor alterations, Nigerian comedians here can attract a wider audience.
If we're going to export, there are two things. It's either the public you're talking to abroad, for instance, will be able to relate to your materials that you're going to give to them. Two, communication. Here in Nigeria, when we started this comedy, right from time, the lingua franca has been in Pidgin English. And then when people want to start to veer into the English communication or method of giving your comedy or your jokes out, some people may not be able to relate to it, even here in Nigeria, because of the fact that, why are you speaking English now? Let's hear the normal lingua franca and everything. Basket Mouth, for example. Basket Mouth does both ways. Pidgin, he looks at his public, he looks at his audience, okay, I can give these people this particular set of jokes. But if he goes abroad, maybe America, for example, he knows what they want. He tells them in English and relates what his experience is from Africa to them in a humorous way. So that way, you blend everything together.
The use of language and comedy inspired by the continent has been given a massive boost by the success of high-profile TV stars like Trevor Noah. The South African is best known for hosting Comedy Central's The Daily Show in the United States, where Africa jokes feature prominently.
Can you understand me with my accent?
I actually have no idea what you're saying.
Oh, I thought so. So maybe we can put subtitles. That's better.
Another recent example of humor's ability to cross borders came when Malawian-born stand-up Delisa Chaponda reached the finals of the popular TV show Britain's Got Talent.
Thank you so much.
He believes that a good joke is funny wherever it is told.
And I know you're all worried right now because you've had that post-Brexit divorce talks. Will you get a good deal? Will you get a bad deal? If you get a bad deal, don't worry. I've got the backup plan for you. Join the African Union. We'll take you. Think about it. Your money's been devalued. You had MPs fiddling expenses. You're practically African. I definitely feel that there are certain subjects which are universal. So I can talk about love, I can talk about family. I do shows in Africa and the UK. So for example, I'm doing a show in Rwanda next week, and I can talk about love and family and things like that. But at the same time, there are some things that work better in Africa. Like for example, when I do jokes about corrupt politicians, they work better in Africa. But similarly, there are things that work better in the UK. When I do a comedy of manners, about people's neuroses or anything like that, it's much more of a British thing. So there are differences, but there are also a lot of universal subjects.
Because I did a competition just like this. I did Britain's Got Talent. I was terrified. I was terrified. I can only imagine how you're feeling. I ended up coming third, right? And I'm very happy with third. Because the way I look at it, coming third, if it's the Olympic 100 meters, is like being the first white guy.
I always say that Chaponda now travels extensively, performing at venues around the world. Earlier this summer, he performed at the Africa Utopia Festival in London. He thinks there has never been a better time to be an African stand-up.
There's suddenly a huge audience for African comedians. For long times, it was like a ghetto comedy, but now we've got all these voices. Like there's this Ugandan comic called Ann Kansime. There's Trevor Noah, who's become world-renowned. There's a guy called Basket Mouth. There are a lot of amazing African voices which are emerging, and the world, because of social media, because of Netflix and things like that, are discovering. So for people like me, it's a very good time to be like, hey, I'm funny too, look at me too.
Because I didn't have money when we were growing up. I remember Christmas time, we never got the Christmas presents we wanted. And I went to my dad and said, why does Santa Claus go to the neighbors, give them the big remote control car? Comes here, gives me this little metal one. My dad didn't want to ruin it. He said, don't worry, Santa Claus, he's a racist.
My favorite joke could not be aired, right? But I will tell you my silliest joke, which can be aired without you getting 1,000 complaints. And it would be that my girlfriend told me that relationships take sacrifice. So I killed a chicken.
As this particular brand of African humor continues to conquer new fans around the globe, a new generation of comedians gets ready for world domination.
Business across Latin America is as vibrant and diverse as its cultural traditions. Across the region, entrepreneurs are looking up to emerging sectors, attracting international investment to innovate, generate growth, and create jobs. From transportation to entertainment, meet the individuals leading the way.
I'm Gabriela Frias. Join me for CNN Marketplace Latin America.
Saturday on CNN.
This month, get inside some of the most creative minds in Japan.
I think timeline-wise, we are in the future.
And meet leaders in fashion, design, and architecture as they share their visions and inspirations.
I just really respect that simplicity of the mind of Japanese people.
In a country of more than 120 million, find out why these 5 are at the top of their craft and redefining the rules of the game.
Talk Asia, Wednesday on CNN.
Lots of names coming in from all different parts of the world. Nelly writing from Nigeria. This is a good one from Peter. Hillary on Facebook saying, I totally agree. Simon making the point, how do you define power? We want your opinions.
CNN Talk with Max Foster. Weekdays on CNN.
Daily life in Lagos can be stressful. The traffic jams and constant noise can drive some people close to despair. No wonder then that when they have a chance, many locals head to one of the many comedy clubs that exist in the city and laugh. The clubs have produced some of Nigeria's biggest stars. Performers like Basket Mouth, who sell out show venues way beyond Lagos. His mixture of real-life observations and laser-sharp timing has won him fans both here and around the world. A recent appearance at Kenya's Laugh Festival 2 was televised on the Churchill TV channel and has been watched more than 1 million times on YouTube.
You know, we are diverse. Like, you know, Africans, you have the Nigerians, Ghanaians, and we have different behaviors. Like Nigerians, we know the answer to a question, but we'll ask you, regardless. Like a Nigerian man saw me and say, hey, Basket, you are here. I said, yes.
In Nigeria, they believe it is only a matter of time until other stand-up comics hit the big time.
If there's no comedy, there's no entertainment. Because the comedy actually started from where people would say, okay, let's do a musical concert, then you get 1 or 2 comedians. Now we're doing comedy concerts and bringing comedians. So right now it's embedded itself into the structure of mainstream Nigerian entertainment, and I dare say that comedy is at the top of the entertainment value in Nigeria right now.
It's nothing to the side that we're providing. Not stopping to make I tell you something. The West strong enough to.
Any comedian can be a basket mouth. The thing is, 1, consistency, good content, originality, and exposure. Now, the thing is, a lot of people would say, okay, they don't appreciate me because probably I'm not on the main stage or blah, blah, blah. But Basket Mouth actually started from scratch. He has a story to tell, and he has used his own sixth sense, so to speak, to look at the other side of comedy where you can commercialize and export the arts to the world. And that's why everybody's looking at Basket Mouth. Basket Mouth, he started well and he's doing well. And right now, anybody can be a basket mouth. You just have to be consistent. You need to have the originality of materials. But then again, chance still favors you to be at the right stage at the right time.
On Lagos's crowded comedy circuit, there are any number of young stars trying to make their mark. People like Whalemouth, Omababa, Distorka, and Dudung travel the city testing out their material. Social media has, of course, offered many of Nigeria's newest stars the opportunity to reach new audiences. Most of them have a large online following. All of the emerging comics deliver their own unique style.
It deserves some accolades.
Helping people escape the daily grind is a common goal. Bucci is already a well-established household name. He believes Nigeria's comedy industry is ready to go global.
For the industry, it's important that it works both home and abroad. It's very important. The world is a global village. Everything is on the internet. You might do something here that someone says in the internet and they want you to travel all the way to Australia, all the way to China. It's like that. It's important that you don't restrict yourself to this country. You must prepare materials that can cut across and prepare for yourself for that act as well.
Everybody like that!
The future is looking bright for Nigerians comedians and the people who have championed them.
It's very, very brilliant. It's a future that is very, very bright. So comedy has come to stay. Comedy has gotten to a point where it has made its mark in the industry generally. So right now, when they're calling the first form industry in entertainment in Nigeria, comedy is among.
When we started in Lekki, we were just the only comedy club. You know, but right now we have, there's a last count ahead, we have like 6 other places like ours that are also doing comedy clubs. So I think people have realized that, you know, is a very good way to entertain your customers. There's a big market for everyone to actually have a decent crowd.
Why they speak English? And Nigeria we speak Pidgin. They go translate them. That's why we have subtitle. Even for America, they speak Pidgin for us.
Nigerians love to laugh, and while the jokes are often at their own expense, the comedians they rely on to help them laugh at themselves are in high demand, now more than ever. Able to inject happiness into a complicated world, the future of funny is in their hands, as they make laughter an essential companion on any evening out.
Inside Africa, in association with Zenith Bank.